Greetings to everyone in the first episode of Console Gaming News for 2025. From now on, these updates will be released on Sundays as a summary of the past week, rather than on Tuesdays as before. I hope this schedule works better for you. Today we'll dive into the most important PlayStation news that has piled up after the holidays. The head of PlayStation confirmed that the PS6 will be released on schedule. A large number of PS3 games are making their way to the PS5. GTA 4 might launch on the current generation as a remaster. PlayStation Plus has once again left its audience disappointed. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Let's get into the latest updates. The gaming journalist Jason Schraer from Bloomberg has shared his predictions for the year 2025. It's worth noting that his forecasts are based on current market trends as well as insider information. The first and most significant point, the release of GTA 6 is highly likely to be postponed to 2026. The reasons cited include the project's ambitious scale, pressure from the audience, and Rockstar Games' desire to avoid crunch during the final stages of development. The next announcement will delight old-school gamers. There's a strong chance that Valve will announce Half-Life 3 in 2025, though the game's release in the near future remains unlikely. Hollow Knight. Silksong is finally expected to launch in 2025. Schreier is confident the project will be a commercial success, selling millions of copies. The industry will continue moving away from platform exclusivity. Microsoft is already actively releasing its projects on other consoles, and Sony is expected to further expand its presence on PC. While Nintendo remains an exception for now, the situation could change in the long term. Speaking of Nintendo, a new console is set to launch in 2025. And interestingly, Chinese sources have already leaked the design of the second-generation Joy-Con controllers. Taking in all this information from Jason Schreier, it's important to objectively understand that none of this is 100% certain. However, many of these points do seem plausible. The head of Sony Interactive Entertainment's platform division, Hideaki Nishino, has stated that the release of the next-generation console, the hypothetical PlayStation 6, will not be delayed or postponed. This information suggests that the PlayStation 6 could hit the market around the end of 2028. Nishino clarified this to dispel doubts among users who speculated that the release of the new console might either be delayed compared to the usual cycle or come earlier than expected. Thus, for at least the next 3.5 years, the PlayStation 5 will remain a relevant platform for all major releases. And let me reassure those uncertain users who might say, oh, maybe I should wait for the PlayStation 6 because the 5 will lose its relevance. No, the PlayStation 5 will remain a key platform for at least 3.5 years, which, in my opinion, is quite a long time. Former developer Alex Smith from Bend Studios, the creators of Days Gone, has revealed that the next State of Play will take place on the 30th of January. During the event, exact release dates for Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei will be announced. Additionally, a major multi-platform project set to launch in 2025 will also be revealed. I dare to suggest that this first presentation of the year will be pivotal, as it will showcase upcoming releases and set the trends for what we can expect from the PlayStation 5 in the near future. It seems that Sony plans to release more classic games from the PlayStation 3 era as part of the PlayStation Plus subscription in the future. The outsourcing studio Inflected Convection, responsible for porting older games, is currently exploring ways to bring PlayStation 3 titles to the PlayStation 5 through dedicated emulators. There have long been rumors that Sony intends to release PlayStation 3 games on the PlayStation 5, and it appears that these rumors are about to be confirmed. Key releases from that era, such as Killzone and Resistance, are expected to arrive on the PlayStation 5 soon. Which classic game are you most excited to see return? Share your thoughts in the comments. Sony has reported that sales of the PlayStation Portal have surpassed 2 million units, meaning that 3% of PlayStation 5 owners now have the portable device. Hiroshima Iwakai, Sony's head of product management, discussed the PlayStation Portal in a new interview. Initially, the company designed the Portal not as a standalone device, but as an accessory to expand the capabilities of the PlayStation 5. According to Sony's internal statistics, Portal owners spend more time gaming compared to standard PlayStation 5 owners. This increase is due to the convenience of playing remotely, away from the console and TV. Given the positive sales trend, the company is considering the development of a more advanced and global product. However, for now, it remains in the planning stages. Whether it will proceed to production is something PlayStation fans will find out in the near future. The PlayStation blog has announced the 10 best indie games of 2024 for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. The list includes 2 titles available in the PlayStation Plus Extra, Deluxe, and Premium catalog, Animal Will and The Plunky Squire. Interestingly, The Plunky Squire offers local co-op gameplay on a split screen, making it a worthy addition to the list. Other top picks include hits like Pacific Drive and the breakout title of 2024, the card game Balatro, alongside several other intriguing projects now displayed on your screens. So, if you're looking for something unique to play, take note of this list. It's a great place to start. David Jaffe, the creator of the classic God of War, has named his Game of the Year for 2024, and for the second year in a row, it's an Xbox exclusive. This time, it's the adventure game about Indiana Jones from Machinima Games. As a reminder, in 2023, he named Starfield as his Game of the Year. According to Jaffe, the developers not only managed to preserve the spirit of the original films, but also successfully adapted it to the format of modern video games, a feat highly praised by both critics and fans alike. Whether this holds true or not is something we'll discover together this spring, when the game releases on the PlayStation 5. It's quite possible that we're in for a remaster or remake of GTA 4. Fans have discovered that the head developer of the definitive edition for the classic Grand Theft Auto trilogy stated on their LinkedIn profile that they are working on an unannounced project for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. Many users have speculated that Grove Street Games could be working on an updated version of GTA 4. However, fans remain skeptical due to the studio's poor reception following the flawed release of the GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters. In my opinion, GTA 4 is the most underrated and overlooked entry in the series over the past 20 years. I'd be thrilled to replay it on the PlayStation 5, even if it's just as a remaster. Hideo Kojima has wrapped up the year 2024 by sharing updates on the current projects at his studio. It was revealed that casting for Physint, a new PlayStation exclusive, has been paused due to the Hollywood actors' strike. Previously announced as a stealth action title in the vein of Metal Gear Solid, Physint marks Kojima's return to the genre, a decision reportedly encouraged by Herman Hulst, who personally persuaded him to breathe new life into it. Additionally, the Death Stranding film, in collaboration with A24, is progressing well and is now in an active production phase. The third update pertains to OD, a horror game being developed by Kojima Productions in partnership with Xbox. The team has completed the initial scans of actors and environments, but further work with the cast has also been delayed. When production will resume remains uncertain. LEGO will release an official PlayStation 2 set. User Ripple Drive proposed the console's design back in July of 2024. Recently, the idea gained 10,000 votes, which, due to company policy, obligates LEGO to review the proposal. The resulting model has a 1:1 scale, composed of 2,111 pieces, replicating not only the console's appearance, but also the internal structure of some components. The review process is scheduled for January 2025 and may take several months. The final set might undergo some changes, but if everything goes as planned, we can expect production preparations and the release of the official LEGO set. A similar model of the Xbox 360 was successfully realized, allowing fans to build the console using their favorite construction toy. Therefore, this project seems entirely plausible. Despite Sony's major gaming and financial failure in 2024 with Concord, the company does not plan to abandon live service games and will continue to develop in this area. PlayStation head Herman Hulst emphasized that while most of the audience sees Concord as a failed endeavor, they overlook the success of Helldivers 2. This project exceeded all expectations and even covered the losses incurred by Concord. The live service gaming model remains a promising direction, offering the potential to generate revenue years after a game's release. Hulst explained that occasional failures serve as valuable lessons rather than reasons to abandon the entire initiative. This mindset, as he pointed out, is applicable to all aspects of life. In one of the YGC podcasts, journalist Andy Robinson revealed that Sony is currently working on at least 2 PlayStation games based on long-dormant intellectual properties, IPs. Robinson clarified that these are smaller, less prominent franchises rather than major IPs from the past, such as Killzone, Resistance, or the Uncharted series. He suggested that these upcoming titles could complement the current lineup of blockbusters effectively. This initiative likely aims to fill the gaps between major Choilway releases, keeping players engaged while still offering original content under Sony's umbrella. Sony has released its official selection of games for PlayStation Plus subscribers across all tiers as of January 7th at 11 a.m. The lineup includes 3 titles: Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. In my opinion, the reaction among subscribers has been rather mixed, with many expecting more substantial offerings. Analyzing the same period over the past 5 years, this selection appears to be one of the weakest in recent history. The last hope for something noteworthy lies with the upcoming January 25th PlayStation Plus Extra lineup, set to be announced on January 15th. Let's wait and see. It's safe to say that the era of physical game editions is gradually fading into history. British analysts have reported that in 2024, retailers earned 35% less from the sale of physical editions compared to 2023. Even as a devoted fan of physical editions, I must admit that digital formats are, in many ways, far more convenient. With a fast internet connection, you can start playing a game within 2 hours of purchase right at its launch. Analysts predict this trend will persist over the next 3 to 4 years, with an increasing number of gamers preferring digital versions of games. As publishers move away from physical releases, the last bastion for acquiring physical copies may be through collector's editions or limited editions. Whether we like it or not, analysts forecast that the next generation of consoles might very well be the last to include disk drives. An interesting discovery was made by an owner of the PlayStation Vita portable console. In the exclusive game Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified for the Vita, online multiplayer is still active and servers manage to find matches with other players fairly quickly. Despite the Vita's questionable sales and the fact that its servers are limited strictly to Vita players, the game's activity remains surprisingly decent, so if you're a proud owner of this portable console and have a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, you can confidently jump in and enjoy the multiplayer experience. The statistical gaming site GoTGameFu has named the record holder for 2024, which turned out to be Astro Bot. The game was recognized as the Game of the Year by at least 104 publications. The second honorable spot went to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which earned the title from 37 outlets, and the third place was claimed by Balatro with 28 votes. While debates about whether Astro Bot truly deserves the title of Game of the Year may continue, the fact that 104 publications chose it as their favorite speaks volumes. About a month ago, the well-known and reliable insider Bill Kun claimed that Sony would soon announce a collection of accessories for the PlayStation 5 in a deep black color called Midnight Black. And now, the official announcement is here. The lineup includes 4 items: the PlayStation Portal priced at €220 for the European market, the Pulse Explore wireless earbuds also priced at €220, the Pulse Elite wireless headset for €150, and the Dualsense Edge controller for €220. Pre-orders for all interested buyers will begin on the 16th of January, with the release scheduled for the 20th of February this year. Sony has published a list of 34 games on its official PlayStation blog that every PlayStation Plus subscriber must try. The full list of 34 titles is now displayed on your screen, but let's highlight some of the favorites. Spider-Man Miles Morales, the remake of The Last of Us Part 1, Ghost of Tsushima, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, as well as classics like Jak and Daxter, Ape Escape, and Resident Evil Director's Cut. This list is particularly relevant for users who have recently joined the PlayStation family and subscribed to PlayStation Plus. So, if you're unsure what to play next, this list will be a great guide for future game selections. Sony has opened a new game studio in Los Angeles, which will focus on developing a big-budget game set in an original universe. Online speculation suggests that the studio is connected to Jason Blundell, the creator of Call of Duty's Zombie Mode and former head of the now-closed Deviation Games studio in 2024. Sony's strategy here is as clear as day. Rather than pouring a massive amount of money into overinflated studios, they prefer to acquire smaller ones and focus on nurturing their growth. Bandai Namco will host a closed technical test for the new Elden Ring Night 3. Applications are now open, and to participate, you need to register on the official website. I'll leave the registration link in the description. The testing begins in February and will be available exclusively on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Although the test will only run on these 2 platforms, the full release is also planned for PC and last-generation consoles PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So, if you want to be among the first to try the new co-op Elden Ring, submit your application and see if luck is on your side. At the Consumer Electronics Show held on January 7th, Sony announced new film adaptations based on their gaming universes. Here's what we learned. The trailer for the second season of The Last of Us was revealed, and the season is set to premiere in April. A movie adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn and Helldivers has been announced. The Horizon Zero Dawn adaptation will be developed by Columbia Pictures, while the production studio for Helldivers remains unknown. Sony also announced an anime adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima in collaboration with Aniplex and Crunchyroll. Unfortunately, no further details were shared, such as release dates or the current stage of production. It seems these projects are still in the planning phase, and there's always the risk of potential cancellation. ShiftUP, the developer behind the iconic Stellar Blade, surprised all its employees with a PlayStation 5 Pro and a bonus of approximately $5,000. These rewards were given to support the studio's talent, which as of the third quarter of 2024 consisted of 311 employees. At the studio's entrance, employees were greeted with a festive PlayStation 5 Pro tree, symbolizing the completion of a significant milestone for the team and the company as a whole. Currently, Stellar Blade is available exclusively on PlayStation 5, but the developers have confirmed plans to release it on PC in 2025. Sebastian Colombo, serving as the game director at CD Projekt Red, expressed the studio's ambition to elevate the quality of its products. For the 4th installment of The Witcher, The company plans to develop non-playable characters with unique personalities, expressive facial animations, and appearances that make them look and act like real people. According to Colombo, the company aims to deliver the most polished product possible. However, we all remember similar promises being made prior to the release of Cyberpunk 2077. Nevertheless, let's hope the studio keeps its word this time and learns from its past missteps. Hyperkin has announced a gamepad for Xbox and PC that closely mirrors the design of the Dualsense from the PlayStation 5. Named the competitor, the controller features symmetrical analog sticks, a D-pad styled after the Dualsense, and triggers and bumper shapes that strongly resemble Sony's controller. The gamepad also includes a microphone mute button, programmable back buttons, and Hall effect joysticks. However, a key drawback is that it supports only wired connectivity and lacks the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback found in the original Dualsense. So far, Hyperkin has not revealed the exact release date or the price of the competitor. Ubisoft has once again postponed the release date of Assassin's Creed Shadows, now set for March 20th. The official reason for the delay is the developer's commitment to releasing the game in its best possible form. The company is willing to sacrifice deadlines to deliver a highly polished product on launch day that will impress players. Ubisoft also unveiled a new trailer showcasing the parkour mechanics in the game. At first glance, it looks promising, but how it will ultimately be implemented remains to be seen. This cautious approach seems to stem from the box office failures of the studio's previous titles, which have pushed them to take greater care with this new installment of their flagship franchise. One can only imagine how unfinished the game might have been if these failures hadn't occurred, especially considering this is now the second delay. And now it's official, Ubisoft is looking for a buyer. Back in December 2024, Reuters reported that Ubisoft shareholders, including the founding Guillemot family, were discussing a potential deal that would allow the family to retain control of the company. These negotiations also involved the Chinese company Tencent, Ubisoft's second largest shareholder, which is interested in increasing its stake and influence over board decisions. Rumors suggest that Tencent was prepared to buy out the company along with all its debts. However, the talks stalled because Yves Guillemot, even after the sale, wants to retain his position as CEO, a condition Tencent currently opposes. As a result, the deal has been paused while Tencent waits for the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. If the game flops, it could give Tencent the opportunity to acquire the studio much more cheaply and without Yves Guillemot. On the other hand, if the game becomes a success, Tencent might have to agree to Guillemot's terms. One thing is certain, the fate of the company will be decided in 2025, and we'll be here to keep you updated. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching this extended episode to the end. There's been a lot of news since the start of the year, but things are only going to get more exciting. See you in the next videos.